You're going to be doing a video?
Yeah, I'm doing just a little short video here, or, well, my short videos always turn out to be pretty long.
Yeah.
Do you,
No,
do you need something?
no, I just come back in here to tell you that here shortly I'm going to load up and head south.
Oh, shortly? Okay. Sorry, you guys. The hubster decided since I was on the microphone, he had to come and talk to me.
Oh,
That's
I
how he
didn't know
works.
you was already on
I
there.
am. It's already on.
Oh, okay, I'll leave you be.
So say hello to everybody since you're
Hi,
on.
everybody. I hope y'all have as good time as I do listening to this lady. I love you, girl.
I love you too, darling. Okay. All right. That was the intro by the hubster. See, he had to come in and mention a few things. And so, because he's going down to the park, because on account of he does that every Wednesday. Every Wednesday, he goes to the park to play Pokemon. But while he's gone, while he's not here, while he's absent, I'm doing I'm giving you a little bit of a heads up. Wait a minute here. If you've noticed, if you are on my, let's see here, just a second. If you are on my, gosh, do I have this many pages? This goes to 8. If, okay, 29, 30. Just a minute. I'm checking these pages. This goes to 71 and this goes to 92. Holy smokeroonies. Holy smackaroonies. I have got, let me put this right here. Okay, everybody, now that everybody is went to the next video, where did, oh, here it is. Okay, now, oopsie daisies. Okay, if you are in the Scrappin' Lizzie Unicorns Facebook group, you will know exactly what I'm talking about, sort of. And so, what we have, what we are going to start on this group is we're going to start having a mixed media ATC Playground. And what that is going to be is we are going to have each of us ready to go ATC size. You can do one, just one, or you can do more than one and make a set. I think I'm going to be doing 4. When I do mine, I'm going to do 4. A set of 4. And I have just cut mine out of my cardboards out of the backs, the packagings, because these are a nice weight, and they are white on one side. So this is like El Perfecto Mundo to do your cards on this weight. That's the only rules is that they have to be this weight, this size. Now here I have some little playing card things that come out of a game of some kind I got at the thrift shop. They're almost exactly, they're only about an 1/18 of an inch, an eighth of an inch off. But if you have something like this, you can gesso over it or just start adding things just like that on these. So if you have like playing cards like comes from games or like trivia cards and stuff, those work too. And they're a nice hefty weight. They're so perfect. And so, but they can't be any bigger than this, because if they're bigger than the 3.5 by 2.5, then they're not going to fit into the into the little holder thingies. See, here I have a book. I showed this before, but I have a 3-ring binder. And in my 3-ring binder is where I collect my I collect my ATCs in here. And I just go on and on. I just have so many that I've gotten from different swaps from different people, and so many different things. Like this one here is just a summer fun here. It says, and look at on the bottom there, it's sandpaper to make it look like sand, and some flip flops and a starfish and a little sandcastle in the sunshine, and then the thing says summer fun. It's just, you can do, and these are mixed media backgrounds on this one. There's just so many fun things that you can do. And some ask me, do they have to have a unicorn? Nope, they don't have to have a unicorn, because look at this here was a chocolate bunny that was made at Easter time. And so here's some vintage looking. I love the vintage, and this is animals. This was at Christmas time, and animals, and but this is how you'll want to keep to organize them. And see, on the backs now, you always have your information on the back: who made it, when they made it, and the name of your card. Like this one here we call A Christmas Carol, and it was made by Noelle Foster, August 3rd, 2013. 2 of 7, so she made 7 of these, probably kept one for herself and sent the other 6 off. And so always put your information on the back. This one here was sent to me by Cynthia McCoy, and the title of her, this is recently that I got this one, because this was on the 16th of December she made this, and she put, who has the button? And so, and although these are buttons, they're not real buttons. They look like they're paper buttons, and then they look like they're, she used like diamond glaze over it, and she has them stitched onto the paper. And so that's beautiful. They're just everyone so different and so beautiful. But anyway, that's why you can have them a little smaller, but not any bigger, because if you have them bigger, they will not fit into those sleeves. And so your collecting will be a little harder, because you won't know where to put them that they'll fit. And so that's why we stick to 2.5 by 3.5, or just a tad smaller is okay, just so long as they fit into those. Okay, now on my group that we call the Scrap and Lizzie Unicorns, that's us, Scrap and Lizzie Unicorns. Now, we have been putting, all of the members have been putting in, they were adding their ideas of what kind of, what to add to our prompts. And so far we're up to 96 prompts that we have. So I have taken, and I printed one of these papers out, and then I've got all the prompts. I just cut them off of this paper after I printed it, and I've got them each on one of these little cards. So those are like ready to go. Now I want to show you, okay, let's see. Now, these little cards are going to be a little bit different than what you find in mixed media. When you're doing a mixed media mashup and that kind of thing, which there's a lot of artists that do them now, we normally do them on a larger piece of paper, or a larger piece of card, like cardstock or watercolor paper or something. and then we cut them apart to ATCs. So this one is similar, but it's different. It's similar, but it's different. And so, just a second here. Okay. It's similar, but it's different because on this one, on when we do the ATCs, we're starting out, when we're finished with it, it'll be a finished ATC. It won't be just the background, although we're working on the background and the foreground and everything in between. And there'll be like where you can sew things onto the card, you can wire things onto the card, hot gluing. So you'll need to make sure you have those kind of things available. We have, let me see, I've been writing myself a little bit of notes. You'll need to have like a pokey tool so you can poke through the card if you need be. So if you're going to want to poke through it, if you're going to add a brad. Oh, I got to put that on here too, brads. I didn't write that. Let me write this, brad. So that'll be another one. Oh, the fibers. I didn't read that one. Okay. 92, 93, 90. Oh, I'm not sure about them. Okay, but anyway. If you're going to put a brad on there, if that is on one of the cards or one of the prompts, or maybe you might want to put a piece of wire through it to hold something else on, then you'll need a little pokey tool to do that. Hot glue gun. You may want to have a hot glue gun ready for some things. You might want a hot glue to your card. A heat tool, so if we're using paints or other mediums like that that need to be dried. A paintbrush and a paint sponge. That's what I have written down, although there might be more than that as far as tools that we'll need to have at the ready. And okay, we're going to do these. We're going to do these twice a week. And the way I have set up my time to do them is I'm going to do Monday mornings at 8 a.m. The reason for Monday mornings is because then 8 a.m. Eastern time. The reason for Monday mornings is because a lot of my subscribers that want to be involved in this are living on the other side of the planet. And so they sleep when we're awake. They're awake when we sleep. Unless you sleep like I sleep, it's like weird. But anyway, so on January 7th will be my first one at Monday, 8 a.m. on Monday morning, Eastern Standard Time, and that's the 7th. And then I'm doing it again on Tuesdays, and this will be every Monday, every Tuesday. But my Tuesdays are going to be 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and that's going to be, first one will be on January 8th. 2019. Can you believe 2019 is right here already? And so Monday morning or Tuesday evening, Eastern Time. And so, and that I'm calling it our ATC Playground. Okay, now I started collecting things in a basket. I've been using my my list. Now you can go to the files in our group in the Scrap and Lizzie Unicorns. And you can, if you're not already joined, go ahead and join up with that. And in the files section, there is a file that we call Weekly Mixed Media ATC Group Project Prompts. You can just right click on that and press print, right click, print, and it'll print all of these out for you. So you kind of know what's going to be on every prompt. Now I started just a basket and throwing things in baskets, in a basket that that are on this list so that I didn't have to run over all to East Duwadiddy, to get things. But then this morning I thought maybe it would be easier if I use this. Let me scoot your chairs back a little bit here. That's not the right thing to do, Elizabeth Marie. That's moving the chairs forward. Boy, it's rough when you start getting old and nothing works anymore, like in the brain department. Okay, so here you get kind of an idea, but you get all this glare on here. But well, so far I've got 9 of these pages, which are the prompts. These are the prompt helpers, because like prompt number 1 is add a button. So I'm going to have a few buttons in this little pocket. This one here says needle or thread or embroidery floss. So in here I've got my needle and thread already in there. My needle and my embroidery floss in there. Now some of these things won't fit in here. Like a small rubber stamp, I might not be able to fit one in there. And so, but I have them, the bigger things are going to be in my basket, or my paints will be on my little trolley. And circles, number 4 is circles. So I might put some kind of circles in there. Spray inks I can't fit in there, but what I might have in here is maybe I'll have some pieces of paper with spray inks on them. So you can either use that to add to your cards, or you can spray them if you have your spray handy. Paper scraps, tissue paper or napkins, glitter. I have glitter in here. Pat sent me this glitter. This is perfect. Now, and another thing though, sometimes your things might want to scoot out, so you got to be careful. So I'm using washi tapes on there to hold. And this one says words. I don't have any words in there, but it's like a scavenger hunt. I'm finding things. And so, and as I find them, I'll just stick them. This one says lace. So I'm going to stick a piece of lace in there just so I have it in there. I might put a couple other pieces of lace in there. I need to put a paper clip at the top of that to hold that lace in there, so they don't, because these things might want to pop out. Shape punch. So like number 15 is a shape punch. And so maybe I'll have just some punches already in here. And so I don't have to go hunting for a punch and punch them at the time. I'll have some already in here. Something natural. You might have a leaf in there. You might have what I'm going to put in there, that what I thought of first when somebody wrote something natural, I thought of natural. Gosh, now that word's not coming to me. It's like that grass kind of ribbon, like paper kind of ribbon, but it's made from grass, and I can't think of what it's called. Here, this one's something from a security envelope. So I've got a security envelope in there. Fussy cut image. But a lot of these, now this one says markers. We can't fit our markers in there, but I just got that on there. And you don't know, I might put some marker something in there. I don't know. Colored pencils the same way. I just want to make sure that I keep my numbers in order, so that's why I even have those kind of things in here. And acrylic paint, of course I can't fit that in there, but I got that on there, so I know that number 10 is acrylic paint. Fabric scraps, a used postage stamp. So I will put some of those in here, so I know that I have them already. And then we have finger paint, sparkle, collage, watercolor, circles or lines, dots, squares. This is doilies, pieces of doilies, ribbon. But and like I said, I just started this morning, so I don't have much in here yet. Draw, stencil, spin for color or shape. That's going to be my little boxes here that I made, these little boxes. It's not actually spinning, but there it would be a yellow triangle. That means you'd have to put a yellow triangle on your card somewhere. Um, Clear stamps, corrugated cardboard, texture paste, paint with a wad of aluminum foil or plastic wrap, bubble wrap, polka dot squares. Um, and so, yeah, this is going to be handy to have. Chain. Now, see, a piece of chain, you might want to put that on with wire. And so that's where you'd need the pokey tool if you want to hook the chain on there with a brad or with a piece of wire. And we'll discuss that more when we get to that. Um, and then charms, also your charms. You may want to connect them to your ATC using a brad or a piece of wire, or sew them on with a needle and thread. Beads, gesso, ink pad, broken jewelry piece, safety pins. I've got some little bitty safety pins that I'm going to use them a lot, because you can use a safety pin and either glue it on with hot glue, or if you've already got a piece of fabric on there, just pin it to the piece of fabric. Piece of sewing product label. So if you get a sewing product label, put that in that little pouch, because then you don't have to go looking for it. You're going to have it. This is almost like this is like, what did I say? A scavenger hunt to find these things and put them in your pockets. A produce sticker. Produce stickers, now just get a piece of aluminum foil or something. When you peel that banana sticker off, you usually get them on fruit, and then peel that off, put it on your aluminum foil, stick it in here. That way, if we pull that prompt, you've got it ready to go. UPC codes, cut them off of packages, put them in here. Doodle without lifting marker. That's now, if you were to take one piece and doodle without lifting your marker, and then stick that piece of paper in here, you can tear pieces off of that to put onto your mixed media ATC card. Draw a dot to dot, foreign language words. And so here I've got some Chinese or Japanese or something, and I can just tear pieces off of that if it calls. Pink. So here, just put pink stuff in there, and if it calls for pink, look to see what you've got in your pink stash. Zentangle, the same thing. You can have a Zentangle that you have worked on. Put it in here and you can tear pieces off of it, or you can draw the Zentangle right on your card as you're working with it. Paint with a popsicle stick. Create a border. I just put some border things on here. There's so many ways you could create a border. And then here it's this number 58 is a your choice. So if we pull that card, it's your choice. You can put anything you want on there. And there's a flower and a sticker, book page piece, and flower. I didn't see that flower. I had these flowers cut out earlier and put them here, and I didn't think I had one, but I do have one. Now, sometimes we might see the same prompt on two different cards, because as I was going through and writing down the prompts that all the unicorns were suggesting, sometimes there might be something that you know what I'm saying. Something might be twice. So, okay, here we have stickers, a book page piece, a bug. A bug can be a butterfly, a dragonfly, or I don't know. You pick a bug up out of the yard. Please don't do that, though. Sponge painting, thread. Thread is neat. You can take a piece of thread and just wrap it all the way around the card, because once you put the backing on the card, it's going to hold that in tight. Dictionary paper, music paper. Eggshells. That, there was somebody too that said they would rather stick to normal art supplies rather than do something like eggshells or something. But you know, there has been beautiful artwork done with eggshells, with colored eggshells, with natural eggshells. And if you go on Pinterest and look at what has been made, eggshell art, and it is amazing what you will find on there. Then there's gems, nail polish, pencil shavings. I have some pencil shavings already in there that was sent to me in a Happy Mail. Cardboard, torn brown paper bag, finger paint in paint or ink. Now, this one, the girl who suggested this, she said finger paint, but she said fingerprint. I thought she said finger paint, and so I put finger paint. So, but you can finger paint or put a fingerprint, but then I put fingerprint later on. Add a cluster. Staple something to the card. Gelatos, crayons, sequins, and so I got some sequins already in there. Cardboard. Now see, farther up here, it said corrugated cardboard, and this one says cardboard. So when you're using that, when you get that prompt, you will just kind of whatever comes to you with that. Crumpled paper. When it says crumpled paper here, you can add a piece of crumpled paper to your card, or you can use the crumpled paper as a paint tool and crumple that paper up, dip it in your paint, and dip it, and then stamp it on your card. So something like this kind of a prompt can go many different ways. Here's some more fabric scraps. I guess I have two of them too. Lace or rickrack again. So we might have two prompts in one sitting, of lace. We're going to end up with a lacy card. Felt. You can have felt, different shapes, or just a little piece of felt, not much, whatever. Letters made out of felt. A found object. So again here, when you find something around your house and you think, oh, that might be fun. Here's a Walmart sticker that says 10 cents. That says that's a found object. So you might find just little found objects that you'll keep in there in case that one is pulled. And here's a fairy, unicorn, feather, jigsaw puzzle piece, fingerprint. So that's where you could do with just an ink pad and put a fingerprint, dragonfly, butterfly, paperclip. So there's so many things. Now, if it calls for a paperclip, that would be fun. Just put a paperclip, because you put a paperclip on the edge of your card, and then you can add things just on with the paperclip. And so I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to my first. I'm going to be working on this a lot today. I'm going to be doing my scavenger hunt, and I'm going to do my scavenger hunt, and I'm going to be filling a lot of these pockets. And so that way, when I actually start working, I call it working. It's not working, it's playing. When we're at our ATC Playground, I'm going to have most of my supplies already in here. And I'll keep adding. As I pull things out, I'll add to them. But these will be a lot of fun. I mean, just to have these things. And then I have a basket off to the side here where I've got my colored pencils are in there. And I have some more stamps in there. Oh, there's my little safety pins. I got to put those in my little, I got to put that in there. So yeah, I have, oh, here's some flowers. I got to put them flowers in my flower one. But yeah, that's what, and in here I have like my sponge ready. So if we're going to do sponge painting, and I'll always keep in here my, oh, this is pretty lace. I need to put that in a lace thing. And I got my gelatos in here. And some of you might not have gelatos. If you don't have gelatos, I had them in a real nice box, but I needed the box for something else, so they went in a Ziploc bag. And Yeah. So that's what you'll do. You just, I mean, if you want to do this and go to the group, I'll put underneath. I'll try to remember, if I can remember from now till 2 minutes from now, to go ahead and put the link to the Facebook group. And then, like I say, we can make one ATC or we can make as many as you want. I would say not to try to do any more than 4, but you can do 4. You can do way more than that. But what I'm going to do with mine is I'm going to keep one in my book that I keep for myself, and then the other ones that I make, I'm going to pick an address that we have in the address form on in the files. I'm going to pick an address, and that's who I'm going to send 1, 2, or 3 to, depending on how many I make. And so, let's see, here's these safety pins. Let me put them in there. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do with that. And let's say I use a little piece of washi tape just to kind of hold that so that doesn't slip out, because these will try and slip out. And yeah, so this is going to be very helpful, I think, and it's going to make it fun, because what I will do is when I call the prompt, I'll say here, like I say, number 12 used postage stamp. And if you've got all of these in order, and when you cut them, you cut the number, you make sure you have the number, then you can go right to number 12, because you'll have them in order. And that one wants to come out too, so let's give that a piece of washi tape. And so it'll make it go quicker, so you don't have to get up and go find each thing. You don't have to get up and go see if there's a banana on the counter that you can take a sticker off. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. So, see, I'm going in here and I'm trying to see, where did I see that? Because see, I got this little piece of lace in my hot little hand right here. And so I'm lace or rickrack. There we go. Poke that in there. There was another one that said lace too. And so we may, I did, when somebody put up something for a prompt, they give an idea for a prompt. I just wrote it. I didn't go check see if it was already there. It just, because we'll have 2. And so, yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do. Okay, so that is what, now you will also see in the prompts, the files, that there is another, I'm just an ATC kind of a guy here. I'm not a guy, but it just came out my mouth. But I just love doing ATCs, and ATCs are so much fun that you get them done and they're done, and then you put them away for your, you got something to send off, or you got something in your collection, and it's just awesome. It's just pure teed awesomeness is what it is. And so, and then you go on to your next. Oh, I have to put this one on here because it's got a unicorn on it. Put these at these top ones here so that those things don't slide out. Okay, so anyhow, I hope that kind of gives you an idea of of what to expect when we start our yeah, I can't even talk. Good grief. The cat has got my tongue. I have had the most awesome holiday season, and now yesterday I slept all day. My company, we had my granddaughter and her husband and two children. They came from Alabama to Florida. They live up north of Birmingham, so they drove down here to my house. Well, my house and my daughter's house, which is my granddaughter's mother, they're right next door to one another. So they dropped the children. Taylor is 6 years old. He was 6 years old on that day, and Ella Grace is almost 2. She'll be 2 on Valentine's Day. And they dropped the children off. Well, they stayed one night, left the kids with us, and then they drove to Miami from here, which we're kind of north of Tampa. They drove to Miami because they are Alabama Crimson Tide fans. I mean, serious fans. So they made that drive down to Miami so they could see that game. It's like a playoff game or something. I don't know exactly. I don't know a lot about football, but it's college football anyway. But they were playing the Oklahoma Sooners, and of course, Alabama won. So they come home in such a grand mood. So they spent 2 more nights here with us, and then they had to leave yesterday to go back to Alabama because Justin has to work. And so he had to be back to work, so they had to go. But it was so wonderful having those babies with us. Oh my gosh, they are so adorable. And it just seems like they got here and they left. It just seems like they got here and they left. But we had so much fun. It just so much fun. We ate a lot of food. A lot of food. We ate a lot of food. But every time, excuse me, I've had an interruption. Yes, dear? I love you too. Did you come here and just say I love you? You're going to leave now? Did the mail come yet? Check the mail first, okay. I always have to make sure he checks the mail first. Kind of early for the mail, though. Okay, yeah, he's going to go down to the park and play Pokemon. He's on level 38, if that means anything to you all. Now, what was I saying? I don't know what I was saying because I got interrupted, so rudely interrupted. Not really. It's not rude when Papa interrupts me because I love him so. But anyhow, yes, we had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Oh, and I was going to say every time that Katie comes out, because sometimes Katie comes out with just the kids if she has to leave the hubster homework, but this time they were all down because the hubster wanted to go to that football game. And but we always go to the same ice cream shop in Hudson, down little tiny bit south of us. But they have homemade ice cream there, and it is just the best ever. And so every time we have to make our traditional stop at the ice cream store. We don't care if it's 10 below zero. It doesn't ever get to 10 below zero here, but that's a figment of my speech. But anyhow, so we did that. We had to make sure we got that in, and that was fun. And everything was fun. Just breathing the same air they were breathing was fun. And I just love them kids. I just love them. I just love them. But anyway, that's that story about our Christmas. Our Christmas was like perfect. So, and we didn't even exchange gifts this year. And I mean, of course, the children got gifts, the little children got gifts. So that made 4 children that got gifts. If you were over the age of 10, you didn't get nothing. And that's the way we did it this year. We had no stress. Nobody's in debt. We're not broke. And nobody's any sadder. It's fun just to watch the children open their little gifts. And they didn't even have to have many. And so this is probably what we'll do forever and ever. No gifts. We don't need that. We do not need that gifty thing. Unless we bake cookies. You know, that's the kind of thing. If you bake cookies, then you're allowed to give gifts. But I'll take all the cookies. I'll take them. If you don't want them, I'll take them. But anyway, so anyhow, this is what I wanted to tell you about on this particular video. And I will explain the other, because there's another, like I was saying, there's another, um, there's another, oh, what do you call it? File in the file folder that explains another monthly ATC. But now the monthly ATC challenge, that is not to be confused with this one, because it's a totally different something. And so that one I won't explain that one right now because I don't want to confuse myself. I probably wouldn't confuse you all, but I myself all confused. So this is just what I wanted to tell you about this time. Any questions, please put them down below the thing, that down there, down under, you know, put them down under in Australia. But and then I will try to answer your questions. I'm not the best question answerer person, though, but I will do my very utmost best to answer your question. Now, I always might leave my videos on a positive note. Today I'm going to pick a page, this one right here. I just opened it to this. Okay, this one is in the criticism chapter. But I like to read something. Holy smoke, this one I don't have. Oh, I got my glasses. Here they are. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I can't believe I can find my glasses. They're a little cloudy. Okay. I love and accept myself exactly as I am. Critical people often attract a lot of criticism because it's their pattern to criticize. Often they need to be perfect at all times. Do you know anyone on this planet who is perfect? We all have areas of our lives that we think are unacceptable and unlovable. If we are really angry with parts of ourselves, we often engage in self-abuse. We abuse alcohol, drugs, or cigarettes. We overeat or whatever. We beat ourselves up. One of the worst things we do, which does more damage than anything else, is criticize ourselves. We need to stop all criticism. Once we get into the practice of doing that, it is amazing how we stop criticizing other people, because everyone is a reflection of us, and what we see in another person, we see in ourselves. When we complain about another person, we are really complaining about ourselves. When we can truly love and accept who we are, there is nothing to complain about. We cannot hurt ourselves, and we cannot hurt another person. Let's make a vow that we will no longer criticize ourselves for anything. Now, this is perfect for the new year, because that is a perfect New Year's resolution right there. So I do like that a lot. Okay, I'm going to say thank you so much for thank you so much for coming by and watching this video. And the hubster just brought in the mail. This is something I ordered from AliExpress, or maybe Wish. I don't know, and I gotta look at it real quick. What did I order? See, when you order something, you forget what you order because it takes so long to get here. Oh, this is a die that I ordered. Oh, I love it, I love it, I love it. Okay, I do love it, really. Okay, I love you too, darling. Okay, so now, thank you so much for coming by, and I'm gonna try this out. This is awesome. And I want to ask God to watch over you every step you take and every move you make. And I will see you on the next video, and I can hardly wait. Okay, God bless. Bye-bye.